Hi, everyone. I'm Kris Olsen, and I want to let you know how Wine-Wings-Creampuffs and a Pink Flamingo sponsored my trip to Dresden, Germany to run a half marathon. All those combinations actually worked. So in 2012, I was selected to be an ambassador with the Columbus Marathon to Dresden Marathon. Columbus is sister city with Dresden, and they were celebrating their 20th anniversary. So they picked 20 runners, and I was one of the lucky ones that got picked. My favorite saying is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And my husband was unemployed at that time, and he goes, and you need money? How are you going to pay for this trip? He had quit his corporate job, and I said, you know what? I got a game plan. I go to local businesses, I support them, I'm going to write them a letter. They support me. So I went around, I made a list of the businesses that I support. I wrote a letter. I would meet them in person. I'd give them a handshake. I would call if I needed to, but I really wanted to meet them in person. I introduced myself. I talked to them about the race, and I told them about the team, because together, everyone achieves more, and I wanted them to know what they can achieve. Where the wine comes into factor, this is my favorite wine, and I celebrated my 50th birthday this year, and of course you see, that's my favorite wine, and I'm about 2 hours away from that winery. So there's a local place where I live, and they sell that wine, so they were one of my sponsors. Roosters is a restaurant in Columbus, and we go there all the time. And I heard that they sponsor athletes, and I thought, I'm an athlete, so I'm going to go over there. And they were one of my biggest sponsors. The cream puffs came into factor. I thought, well, you know, how can I get creative with this? And there's a Schmidt's German house is in Columbus, and they sell cream puffs. I love cream puffs. So I had called them up, and they were one of my biggest sponsors too. But along the way, some only paid, you know, or some only sponsored me for $25 or $50, and I was thankful for that. I appreciated that they wanted to be part of my team. And along with that came my biggest sponsor. It was an insurance company, and they were a couple hours away from where I lived, but they had seen my social media chatter, and their manager of that insurance company said, we need to get involved with that. So I tell you to be creative. This was me, and I was actually on TV in Columbus with a race director for an Oktoberfest, and that was my best version of a German dress that I could wear. You know what, I might not be a Kara Goucher, but I thought, you know what, she was one of my role models in running, and she inspired me to get running with her book. So I thought, you know what, I can take what she has, and it's her smile. So I just want to be myself. With my race, I usually run in honor or dedication of someone, and this little boy, I dedicated my race to him to bring awareness to MPS that he has. So along the way, you might not always get monetary sponsorship, but I got some shoe bling, and that was pretty awesome. So I wore my shoe bling over in Germany, and that has led on to an actual business development with that company. So I say enthusiasm moves the world. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm, and I went to these companies, and I was just enthusiastic about it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime dream for me, so I did it. And don't let the fear of them saying no to you, because they're not actually saying no to you. I went to an actual hot dog stand, and the guy says, I just don't have the money in my budget right now, so I just can't do it. The social interaction, I posted about my sponsors. I sent out thank you notes. That's my finish line victory picture in Germany. And I want them to know that many people have gone further than, and they took me there. So run your race, I say, and you never know, you might be turned into a character with I love to run. So they made me a cool photo, and I love that. So you know what, I was just out doing my thing. And you can do it too, because you know what? These companies are out there, and they do have money, you know, if you reach them in time, but they do have that money, and they want to be part of your team they want to be a part of that journey. And one of my companies still sponsors me for other races that I do, and this is 2 years after I've done the Germany race. So that's where you can find me, and hit those local sponsorships because they're out there.